while an average of 1,000 Americans are dying every single day due to coronavirus, the state of Tennessee has decided to take some of their coronavirus funding and redirect it to police departments. I'm not kidding. So Tennessee will funnel $300,000 of federal coronavirus relief money to help cover the cost of 90 additional police cadet scholarships as part of Governor Bill Lee's initiative to strengthen policing. So I don't think I need to say it, but I guess I just will. This is amid calls to defund the police because of the excessive force and the police brutality and the broken policing system we've all been experiencing and seeing in video after video after video. But it turns out the Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee isn't persuaded by any of that. In fact, he calls the effort to defund the police meaningless. And he's quoted as saying, our state has created one of the most comprehensive and collaborative law enforcement advancements in recent Tennessee history, while also working to recruit top tier talent to our force. I have more details for you, Woz, but I wanted to get your initial thoughts.
It's Republicanism 101. They're preaching sort of chaos and the rioters, the rioters and the looters, that's a big part of their messaging going into November, that these Negroes are out of hand, they're ruining our malls, and nobody's gonna keep us safe except for the police, right? Like it's easy to spot what they're trying to market here. And again, and another part of that is rioters and looters coming to kill you and your kids in your nice suburban home. That's real, and coronavirus is fake. Therefore, we can take something that's meaningless to them, i.e. coronavirus, we can take funding from that and funnel it into something real, which is these crazy Antifa vampires are coming to kill you, literally. And the only thing between you and those sickos in Antifa are the police. And so we're gonna put money in the police, hire more police. We're gonna keep you and your little Fifi safe at night.
I love the word Fifi. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What frustrates me so much is that their propaganda is working. It's working nationwide. And yeah, and it's because, think about, okay, let's look at it on a more narrow scale. Let's just focus on the way Donald Trump successfully frames the conversation. And then you have Joe Biden constantly playing defense, right? You never have Joe Biden playing offense.
No.
It's always Trump who fearmongers and says, look at this rioting and this looting. Joe Biden loves it. He wants to defund the police. And what does Joe Biden do? He'll put out a statement where he's like, I do not want to defund the police. I do not support these looters. It's so frustrating. We have no opposition party. We just don't.
It's the smart thing would be to frame the conditions on the streets as being able to thrive only under a Trump presidency. Like, it's just like, yo, there's rioting on the streets because of this guy's lack of leadership. When I get in there, you'll see everybody's gonna love it. Like that's what the Republicans do all the time. Blame it on whatever the issue is. If it's ailing America, blame it on the Dems. But instead of doing that, which would be actually, logical and would make sense that you would blame the conditions of our country on the leadership of the country. Instead, Joe Biden says, no, I don't like rioters either. It's like, no. There's a reason why people are on the streets. There's a reason why the coronavirus sort of response was tepid and horrible. We don't have leadership. All the things you see that are bad, Trump, that's it. You need to tie everything that voters see as bad as being the fault of our leadership. Like, this isn't complicated. Instead, it's the fake kowtowing. Like, of course they should denounce crimes. Like, that goes without saying. Of course we don't believe in people rioting and looting and messing up property, but how do people get that way? We need to address that, and we need somebody to blame for that. But typical Dems.
No, I would put out ads I would use the word extrajudicial murder, killings, executions, extrajudicial executions. I would say that over and over again in ad after ad. The problem with Democrats is that they're still campaigning as if it's like the 1990s and it's bad to put out negative ads. No, we're dealing with someone who thrives off fear, panic, negativity, division. I would put out ad after ad where I'm just like, Trump thinks it's okay for the government to carry out your execution without your day in court, because that's what's happening on the streets right now.
100%, Anna, and I think this is another thing that the Dems don't understand, and I think that people just generally don't understand, is that most of the people who get killed by police are white, just by the fact of demographics, right? Like the country is still 62% or something like that white. And so therefore most police killings happen to poor white people. Like if you really wanted to get the message across, it's like, look, the police is coming to kill you too. Instead, they can never divert from their woke posturing. And so they would never do that because they love to posture in such a way that it's like, no, we're really racially progressive and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, you need to be anti-police in how they handle this particular issue and how they police poor people. Quite frankly, here in Encino where I live, I have nothing but positive interactions with the cops. I'm blessed in that way. I'm, dare I say it, privileged in that way, right? Like that's my interaction with the police is like, they chuck me the deuces, they say hello, they're very polite, but let's face it, I live in Encino. That's not the interaction that people in Watts have with the police, right? And so instead, the Dems would never frame it as this is an issue of poor people all across America, because the Dems are basically bourgeoisie in their self-identification. They just don't want to talk about that kind of thing. That's why they're losing on this issue.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.